Way to pause. It was a long time ago that a girl named got married. She lived in her house with her husband and mother. Within a very short time she had realized that she could not live with her. The personalities of both of them were completely different and was troubled by many of her habits. Her low used to turn all the time, which annoyed her a lot. Days and then weeks passed, but the dispute between and her did not end. All these coincidences had spoiled the atmosphere of the house, due to which S husband remained very upset, ultimately decided that she would not marry her, went to Ahmed uncle, a very good friend of her father's who used to sell herbs, told him the whole story and asked him to give her some poison, so that this issue ends forever. Ahmed uncle thought for a while and then said, I will help you in solving this issue, but you will have to do as I tell you. Agreed Ahmed uncle. He went into the room and after some time returned with some herbs in his hand. He told that you cannot immediately use poison to kill your, because everyone will doubt you, so I am giving you these herbs. This will gradually spread poison in their body. Every day you should cook something good and then add these herbs to it while giving them food, and yes, if you want that no one should suspect that you have killed them, then you should keep this in mind. You must have a very friendly attitude with them. Do not fight with them, obey everything and treat them like a princess. Was very happy to hear all this. She thanked Ahmed uncle and quickly went home, because now she had to meet her. Weeks passed and then months. Used to cook something good every day and present it specially to her. She remembered what Uncle Ahmed had told her, that she had to control her anger and serve her mother. 6 months had passed and the layout of the house had almost changed for the worse. Had tried and learned to control her anger. Now she does not often get upset and angry at her mother's words. She had not had a fight with her breath even once in a month, and now she had started liking them very much, and it was becoming easier to live with her. Her attitude towards her had also changed a lot, and that too had started liking her daughters. She had started loving among all her friends. Both and her had now started considering each other like mother and daughter. S husband was also very happy to see all this when they again went to her uncle. I said that you tell me the way how to save my from the poison which I have given her. She has changed a lot. I love her very much, and I do not want her to die because of this poison which I have given her. Ahmed uncle smiled and said that you do not need to be afraid. I did not give you poison, but the herbs I gave you were of mana, so that his health gets better. Everything was only in your mind and in your attitude, but you ended all that with your love. Remember, our attitude, our words, and our tone decide what attitude others adopt towards us. For a long time I could not find out the secret of how my mother was informed about my arrival. It happens that if I came from school, the door would open before knocking. If I came from college, as soon as I reached the door, I would see my mother's face glowing with happiness. She would welcome me with a loving smile and give me blessings, and then she would die in tears. I would sit near the stove made of wood, and my mother would cook hot roti and I would eat it with pleasure. When my favorite food was cooked, my mother would say, let's compete. Mother would put the roti in the pot and say, now let's see whether I cook the second roti first or you finish it. Yes, mother used to cook roti like this. On the other side, the last nawara would go into my mouth, and on the other hand, fresh and hot roti would come off the pan and come to my plate. Like this I would eat rotis, but I never understood who when in our house there were certain principles that everyone followed. We were not allowed to go out of the house after sunset, but after completing my education I got a job in a newspaper in Lahore, in such a way that I used to come to my mother's house at night, but only that. It was normal that even if I came home there was never a need to open the door myself. When I got late, I would try to open the door quietly so that my mother's sleep would not be disturbed, but I would take out the key from my pocket here and there and open the door there. I used to ask my mother how she came to know that I have come after mother's death. Once I reached home late, stood near the door for a long time, then plucked up courage and knocked on the door slowly, waited for some time and got the answer. When he couldn't find it, he knocked again and then sat on the threshold made of bricks near the door. In the street, I do know how long I sat, leaning against the door. I do know when my eyes opened. I just remember that azan was called from the mosque. After some time, Kama's friend from the house opposite opened the door. She came out in pain. She placed her hand on my head and said, "Son, your mother used to keep peeping for hours from the window of your room, which faces the street. Whenever I step into the street, then she ran away and came down. Then she looked towards the window with her sister's eyes and said, 'Son, never open a window.'" My dear friends, if you like the video, then please like. Such an interesting story. For such interesting moments, please visit our website, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, please. God be